Well, I just wanted to say congratulations. You have made it to your last review for lessons 33 and 34. And I wanted to remind you that if you're traveling up that math ladder, the rest of my courses are on iTunes U as well. Beginning algebra, intermediate algebra, college algebra, trigonometry, calculus, and much more. So the sky's the limit. You're building a great foundation, and I wish all of you the best of luck. After you complete this review with me, go ahead and take the self-assessment on iTunes, and then, of course, the final exam, and see how you do. I have faith that you'll be great. Okay, number one, find the measure of the supplement, keyword supplement, of a 112-degree angle. Well, you know, we have the answer pasted over here, 68 degrees. But one thing you're noticing is that 112 plus 68, and again, I'm under the assumption that you've been through all of the guided notes for the geometry segment that is on iTunes. But you're noticing if we go ahead and add this up, we get 180 degrees. So then you remember, oh yes, supplementary angles, their sum must be 180. So the supplement of a 112-degree angle must be a 68-degree angle. Okay? And I'll just note to self. Okay, and for the definition of supplementary. And you're also remembering maybe the definition of complementary angles is that their sum would be 90. We'll see that later. Okay, let's head to the next one. Find the measure of x in this drawing. Well, it's a little bit misleading here. You know, if you're looking at this, probably wondering what they're illustrating here. They're trying to illustrate that x is the sum of both of these angles. And clearly, you know, here we've got a 90-degree angle. Here we've got a 50-degree angle. Okay, and so x is supposed to be the sum of those. So 90 plus 50 is obviously 140. And that's, I have the answer pasted in over here. Okay, so just again trying to illustrate that x is the sum of both of those angles, the full rotation. Okay, let's go ahead and head to the next slide. Number 3, find the volume of the solid and give an exact volume and then give the approximate. Well, hopefully you're looking at this thinking it's a cylinder. Okay, so you can retrieve it from your guided notes on iTunes or your memory, or you can Google it, but no matter what, we need the formula for volume of a cylinder, which is pi r squared h. Okay, now a lot of people like these calculations because it is a lot of plug and chug, right? As long as you plug in the right components. So we need to know the radius, but we know the whole way across through the center, which is the diameter, which is 8. So then the radius must be half of that, which is 4. So radius is 4. So I'm going to go ahead and plug that in. The height of this canister or this cylinder is 32. Notice the units are the same. I wanted to mention that. Inches, inches. So I'm not going to mess around with conversions or anything. I'm keeping the, you know, the units are the same, so that's good. And then we'll multiply that by pi. All right. Now, 16 times 32 that's where we're getting the 512 pi for exact cubic inches. We can go ahead though and approximate this, and I wanted to show that it's okay to use our calculators for this segment. Let's use 3.14 as pi, and 4 squared is 16, so times 16, and then times 32. So we're getting approximately, I'm going to round to the nearest whole number, 16. Does it say? Yeah, it doesn't say what to round to. So we'll go with 1608 inches cubed. Okay, let's head to the next one. A flag is 485 by 215 feet. Its dimensions, find its area. The big thing I want you to notice is that that's a rectangle, and we retrieve the formula for area of a rectangle, either from our memories or from our geometry cheat sheet that I had posted on iTunes. And the length is 485. Kind of always just practice writing down your formula and sort of filling in the blanks. And the width is 215. So I'm just writing that out. So then the area, and although I have the answer key set there, I just want to practice typing that in. So 485 times 215, it's going to bring us to 104,275, which matches our answer key. Notice the units, square feet. You can also say feet squared. Okay? Square footage when you're dealing with area. Okay? Or units squared when you're dealing with area. Let's try the next one. Find the area, keyword area, of this figure. Well, that's a trapezoid, right? So again, retrieval of formulas. So that's going to be 1/2 big B plus little b, base 1 plus base 2, times the height. So let's fill in the blanks. Big B plus little b, well, that's your big base, which is 5. And your little base is from here to here, which is 3. Your height, now I'll highlight that in a different color. This is your height. All right? Not the slanted piece. The slanted piece is never the height. So height is 3, and then times 1/2. Now, some of this we can crunch out, in our head without even using a calculator. Actually, all of it. So 5 plus 3 makes 8. And then if we just kind of think about this, 1/2 times 8, or 1/2 of 8 is 4, times 3 is 12. So that's why we're arriving at 12 square yards. Okay? Hope that helps. Let's head to the next one. As we know from this post on iTunes, it's a lot of formulas, okay? The more you devote to heart, the better you'll be in future courses. But I do let the students in my live class use a geometry sheet for that exam, formula sheet. Find the circumference of the circle. Keyword circumference. So I retrieve the formula for circumference of a circle, which is pi d, pi times diameter. So the thing is, from here to here, from the center on out, what is that? That's a radius, right? So to get the diameter, we know it's double the radius. So note to self, we know diameter is 2 times 11, which is 22. So I need that diameter right here to fill that in. Now I could say, 22 pi as my exact circumference, but again, let's just practice, using the approximate for pi, which is 3.14, and then times 22. So we're getting approximately 69.08. So approximately then 69.08 miles. Okay? And those units there should be miles. So when you're dealing with circumference, it's plain old units. All right, let's try the next one. Find the measure of the complement of a 12-degree angle. And obviously I have the answer over here. This shouldn't be, let me cut that out. Okay, the answer is 78 degrees, but the big thing that you're noticing is that 78 plus 12 makes 90. Aha, makes sense. Sum is 90 degrees, which is the very definition of complementary angles. So definitely, when you're being tested, be on the lookout for the words complementary and supplementary. important vocabulary words. All right, now let's try number 8. It says a logging firm needs to cut 118-meter log into 40 equal pieces before loading it onto a truck. How long is each piece? Now, it doesn't blatantly say, but hopefully you're thinking, boy, we got to divide. So when you say, you know, cutting something large into equal pieces, it's division. So now I could physically divide this, but for simplicity and ease and for time's sake, 118 divided by 40, 2.95. And so 2.95 meters is the answer. Okay, so the big thing is the idea is that when you're taking something long and chopping it into equal pieces, that's right there, equal pieces is kind of my key word for division. All right, let's try the next one. Now remember, we only have 12 problems on this. Find the measures of all the angles in this diagram, in this drawing. Well, we know that I just want to label, if this is 147, then the one across from it must also be 147. Why? Because what are they called? That's the important thing. Vertical angles. So vertical angles are across from each other at the intersection, right? So this is congruent to this. Now we also know, and I'll do this in another color, that angle Y and angle Z, they're adjacent. So I'm just going to write that here. Angle Y and angle Z are adjacent. And we know that adjacent angles are supplementary. So that's why you're noticing that 147 and 33 makes 180. So Z, angle Z, has to be 33 degrees. Big note to self, adjacent angles are supplementary. Okay, so all those things, of course, were in the guided notes, but I'm just bringing it back to the front burner. And the other big note to self there is that vertical angles are congruent, the same measure. All right, let's head to the next one, number 10. Find the measures of x, y, and z in this figure given that m is parallel to n. Well, the big thing I want to practice with is, all the terminology we had. This angle and this angle are corresponding. And corresponding angles are congruent. So we know that the measure of angle y has to also be 67. Sorry, I said 67 and I wrote 62. 67. And then I just want to talk about angle Z. I'll do this in another color. Well, angle Z and angle Y clearly have to add up to 180 degrees. So angle Z must be 113 degrees. And then, again, and I'll just note about this, angle Z and angle X, so this one and this one, again, are corresponding. And I'll just type that. Okay, so therefore angle X has to be also 113 degrees. I'll just write the tick marks there to indicate they're equal. All right, and clearly we have the answer key, but we want to think about what they are and why they are. All right, head to the next one, number 11, find the perimeter. Well, remember that perimeter means add up all the sides, right? add up all the side lengths. So let's just think about this. 8, this is 11, this is 11, we're assuming those are equal. This is 16, this is 9. And this is 40, so we're assuming this is 40. We just got to get all the side lengths. So here's, oops, 40, sorry, the pen's being fussy. Here's 40. And then, let me fill that in. And then we just need this bottom piece, but we have to think about it. Well, 8 plus 16, take all these horizontal distances. 8 plus 16 plus 9 makes, let's think about that, 16, 8, and 9. Makes something, and whatever that something is, it's the distance from here to here. So you have to think about this plus must make this total distance. All right? So let's get ready to, for time's sake, to add all of these pieces of information. So I'm going to start here at the 8 and just kind of go around the figure. Oh, I forgot to add this up. So 16 and 8 makes 24 plus 9. So 33. All right. Now we're ready to add every side length up. So, all right, let's take the 8 plus the 40 plus the 33 plus another 40 plus 9 plus 11 plus 16 plus another 11, and voila, 168. Whew. And that was the answer. So just make sure, the big thing is just make sure you get all the pieces, like from here to here is 11. So when you're coming around and adding up all the sides, it's as if you're a particle traveling along these edges, right? What would be your distance? So, okay, hope that helps. Let's head to the next one. Oh, is that it? Has their own, oh, there it goes, down here. This is our last one, number 12. Find the volume of a cone, keyword volume. So, and it's always good too, if there's no drawing, to try and draw a cone. Okay, and we'll have a certain radius, and we'll have a certain height. And volume of a cone, let's retrieve that formula, is 1/3 pi r squared h. Find the volume of a cone with radius 99 meters. I'm just going to fill that in the drawing here. And height 99 meters. All right. So then we're going to have pi times 99 squared times the height, which is also 99, and then eventually times 1/3. Now, if we use, that's exact. If we use 3.14 for pi, we'll get an approximate. So let's go ahead and practice typing that. For your fraction, 1/3, on this kind of a calculator and on many calculators, put your fraction in the parentheses, times 3.14, and then times 99 squared, and then times 99. Let me hit pause there. Ha, I apologize. I just realized that I had a typo. It should have been radius 9 meters and height 9 meters. I was looking at why it didn't. So let's just adjust that. Sorry for that last one. Just adjust the numbers. It's the same concept. So this shouldn't have been 99. It should have just been 9. And so let's fix that. Because I said, wow, those are large numbers. So let's fix this. It shouldn't have been 99. It should have been 9. I just had a typo. Okay, so that's 9, and that's 9. Now, whew, let's try that again. Because, I noticed we were getting a large number compared to what we have for the answer key. Let's try that again. Again, 1/3, we'll put that. And then times pi, which we'll use 3.14, and then times, 9 squared, which is 81, so we can just type that in as 81, and then times 9. Whew, and voila, 763 if you're rounding to the nearest whole number. So 763, now that matches our answer key. Okay, and notice the units, cubic meters, okay? I'll fix that on the notes that are on iTunes. So your note sheet will say 9. Mine just said 99 by accident. So hope that helps, and you are well on your way, and I know you'll do great on the final that's on iTunes, and then hopefully see some of my higher level courses on there as well. Good luck.